Good morning, everyone. It's morning for me. I don't know what time it is for you guys. We are listening to Parius, and the song is called Boogie. With my morning coffee. It's a beautiful morning indeed. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Morning, whatever it is for you. I was supposed to do this general forecast previous to all the horoscopes, but I didn't, and so I'm doing it now. I wanted to go over a lot of the planetary aspects for this month that maybe wasn't covered in your general forecast. Some of it was, but not all of it. Because there's just so much going on. So April is going to be a very stable month where we can really make things happen. We have a lot of planets retrograde for sure, which can kind of put some upheavals in the mix of it all. But that's just because we are given opportunity to go back, almost like a rewind in time. And this is totally awesome because we all have things that we'd like to redo from time to time. And last month we had Mercury and Jupiter turn retrograde, and this month we're going to have Saturn and Pluto. So although the month is pretty stable, these can be a little bit of, at first, can definitely add some confusion or some internalization of trying to figure out what it is we would like to go back to fix, to redo. There's a lot of revisiting going on with retrogrades. And this year we're going to have them all turn retrograde, including Venus and Mars, which don't do that but every 2 to 2.5 years. So there's a lot of revisiting going on this month. Mercury turned retrograde in the sign of Aries and will be turning direct on April 15th this month. So we'll all be happy for that to happen. Aside from all the regular technological difficulties that can occur. A lot of us are revisiting things from the past, business coming back from the past, people from the past, relationships being revisited, love or partnerships, business partnerships or family members, any type of relationships. It's time to reconnect with Mercury retrograde to see if you can clear out some karma, better some situations, fix relationships, get clarity, you know. Jupiter retrograde occurred on March 8th, and it's going to be moving direct on July 10th, and that's in Scorpio. So there's a lot of revisiting our belief systems, a lot of opportunity and abundance coming back to us. These are also karmic times where things that have, like our efforts that have been put out, can come back and reward us, especially with Jupiter. And then this month, we're having Saturn and Pluto join in the mix, and Saturn will turn retrograde on April 17th, and he's the Lord of Karma in Capricorn. Hard work. He tests our foundations. If anything's built on false foundation, then you can look to review that and see if you can make things better, improve them. Saturn rules the 10th house of business, public presentation, how others see you, reputation, conservatism. So there's a lot of karma gonna happen when Saturn turns retrograde, and a lot of stuff will be revisited there. Pluto turning retrograde on the 22nd of April is going to ask us to let go of our unhealthy attachments and things that are controlling us. Any place that we gave our power away, or we sold our soul, so to speak. Pluto is Hades, where we are giving away more than we want, or getting involved in things that we really don't want to, or being in relationships or situations where we gave our power up. In these types of situations, this is when Pluto will be most strongly felt, because he tends to flare up situations, so that way you can gain your power back. That way you can let go of those unhealthy attachments, whether they're in business, whether they're in a love relationship, whether they're in a friendship. Anybody that's taking your power away, controlling you, those situations will flare up and you will be asked to let go of them. Now, Pluto retrograde, you got to see where it's happening for you, because those will be areas in which you can revisit and let go, or pursue passionately as well, because Pluto is our passion and our desire and our willpower. So during retrograde, we can revisit those areas and we can rebuild them. We can let go of what needs to be let go of. We can cut those cords, those attachments to people that are unhealthy for us, situations that are unhealthy for us, addictions, any of that stuff. So that's what you can look for with Pluto retrograde. We're going to have a new moon in Aries on the 15th. And that one's going to be aspected in a square by Saturn, in a square by Mars, and in a square by Pluto. So this is, again, about letting go of those unhealthy attachments. Saturn, shows us our weakest links. And he tends to enhance them so that way we can see what they really are. He pulls away the illusions. And we may find out that somebody isn't really there for us. We may find out that these people never really were there for us. We may find out that a situation that we're involved in is not good for us, especially with Pluto involved as well. The only problem with it is that Mars is square it, and Mars is just pure energy and can be explosive or compulsive, along with Pluto square. But it's really about taking your power back. Taking your power back and having courage to do so in the sign of Aries. Because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Pluto is about self-respect, self-empowerment. Aries is about courage to do so. And Saturn is about showing us what those situations are. Now, new moons always promote new energy. They close old doors and open new doors. So there's going to be a lot of activity happening after this new moon, of new directions for a lot of us, taking a bolder step in the future after this new moon. As I was saying in the beginning, it's a relatively stable month simply because we have a lot going on in Capricorn and Taurus, which are earth signs, all about grounding, building, slow and steady, methodical approach to things, having the determination to follow through. So this is an excellent month to finish projects that you started and you never completed, or projects that you want to start making the plans for them. You'll be able to think clearly, focus, and follow through and work pragmatically. On the 2nd, Mars in Capricorn will conjunct Saturn in Capricorn. All about stability, all about follow through, all about determination. On the 4th, Mercury in Aries will square Mars in Capricorn, all about saying it like it is. Be careful about getting into confrontations on this day. But you'll definitely have the courage to say what's on your mind. On the 5th, Mercury will square Saturn, which is when we're going to rethink things. So it's ironic that like the day after we're going to feel like we want to say something, we're going to want to think about it the following day. So maybe wait until the 5th to make any major decisions or have any serious conversations about anything. On the 7th, Venus in Taurus will trine Saturn in Capricorn, which is awesome for love relationships and stability and taking that relationship to the next level and a commitment. It's a good day for money. It's a good day to work towards your goals financially. It's a good day to make any financial calls. It's a good day to rearrange your finances, see where you're spending money, if you're overspending, where and what, and how to cut back. On the 11th, Venus in Taurus will trine Mars in Capricorn, which is an awesome day for relationships as well. Venus and Mars are the astro lovers. And when they're in a trine, it means they're working well together. So any relationship communication should be done on that day on the 11th. It's really good for that. On the 12th, Venus in Taurus will sextile Neptune in Pisces, and this is the most romantic day of the month. It looks like most of the month is about putting your action into place, building something. But on this day, you can take a break and go on a date with either your lover, with your significant other, with your husband or wife, or on a new date. Because we tend to drop our egos when it involves Neptune, and we're more open, and we're more compassionate, sensitive, and romantic. Fantasies, romance, it's the stuff what romance novels are made out of, so that's a good day to do that. On the 14th is a powerful day. Something really important can happen, big for everyone. This is a massive transit when Jupiter in Scorpio is going to sextile Pluto in Capricorn. Some really big news can come through, and it looks like it's ultimately positive. Now, it may not happen exactly on this day. It could happen anytime after, but this day is when the sextile is exact. So some big news regarding money, regarding an opportunity, even taking a relationship to the next level, depending on where Jupiter and Pluto are for you guys. The 14th is a very big day for big happenings. Mercury's going to go direct finally on the 15th. We'll all be happy to start moving forward with all the reviews we've done, changes we've made in technology, upgrades, cars, transportation, all that stuff, revisiting, recontacting old relationships, whether they're friends, lovers, family members, whatever, all of that, reviewing, revisiting, will come to an end on the 15th with Mercury. On the 17th, Venus in Taurus will oppose Jupiter in Scorpio, but also on that same day, Venus in Taurus will trine Pluto in Capricorn, and also on that same day, Saturn turns retrograde. So it's a good day that Saturn turns retrograde, but it's going to be different for everyone. Saturn tends to dive deeper in retrograde motion initially, so anything that you haven't let go of, or you haven't fixed or restructured or whatever, might flare up in order for you to make those changes, because Saturn wants those changes to occur. Review them, stuff like that, contracts, all that stuff. And then on the 22nd, Pluto turns retrograde. And like I said, that's all about letting go of, anyone that has power over you, is controlling you. Relationships that are unhealthy, habits that are unhealthy, addictions, all that stuff. You have to gain your personal power back, and Pluto turning retrograde will ask you to do so. So situations can flare up when Pluto turns retrograde. So that way you can see what they really are, and you can ask yourself if it's really worth it or not. On the 24th, Mars in Capricorn will sextile Jupiter in Scorpio, which is awesome for taking action. Luck will be around you in taking action. You'll feel confident. Venus will enter Gemini on the same day, which is going to change the energy quite a bit from Venus and Taurus. Gemini is very communicative, social, and all about multitasking, activity. So we'll be a lot more active once Venus moves into Gemini, and a lot more open and able to communicate with ease. We'll be wittier, quicker mentally. But it's really good for having fun and getting out and having fun in relationships. And on the 26th, Mars in Capricorn is going to conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a day to really take some action. You're definitely going to feel confident doing so. You're going to have the determination and the willpower to follow through. So any projects that you have on the back burner, this is a good day to really put in as much effort as you can, because you definitely will want to. So overall, the month looks really good for building something, for establishing solid foot ground on stuff. The most romantic day, again, is when Venus sextiles Neptune in Pisces on the 12th. But the rest of them, and a big happening can definitely happen on the 14th when Jupiter sextiles Pluto in Scorpio. And then on the 15th when Mercury turns direct. So overall, the month looks really good and stable. There are a couple of days when Pluto turns retrograde, Saturn turns retrograde, where things can flare up. The new moon will end something and begin something new on the 15th. But these are always for our best interest. We got to trust in the process. But overall, you guys, it looks fantastic. If you didn't listen to your own personal horoscope, I suggest you do that. And I suggest you listen to both your sun and your ascendant, since both houses will be affected. I want to thank you all for tuning in to listen to this. If you found this helpful, please do be sure to give it a thumbs up. I just started my channel, so I can use that to help my videos get noticed. I'm way at the back right now. You know how that goes. Anyway, and also be sure to subscribe and click the bell if you would like to get notification of all my uploads, because I am doing a lot in the next couple of weeks. So if you do like what you hear, please do let me know. You're always more than welcome to leave your comments below. If you haven't visited my site, you can visit it at www.illuminastrology.blogspot.com. I write all about astrology and the aspects and placements, so you can learn about that, or to get your own personal reading in any area of your life. I would be happy to meet you and to do so. All right, so thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys on one of my other videos or in May 2018.